Army just released its transition initiative to prepare for future threats and budgets. This is for all three of you, if you wanted time just to answer it. Kind of three-part question. Does this have any impact on your organization? Do you anticipate similar initiatives in your organization? And when and what will they look like? General Saltzman?
Yes, sir. There's some connections. I actually been charged by Congress to be the force design architect for space for the armed forces. And so as the Army goes through its transformation to figure out exactly how it will use space capabilities to protect its organic maneuver forces, we'll be connected to that as well to make sure we're sharing technology, we're not being redundant where we don't need to be. So there'll be an overarching aspect to that. But in a broader sense, we're also using this year to build the objective force of the Space Force. What do we need to look like in the next 10, 15 years, and how will that connect to the other services to make sure that all of the joint force requirements are met?
How's that communication? Does it work pretty well?
Between the services?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We collaborate through the joint staff in a lot of places, but the JROC is where we share requirements across the services. We do it at the working group level all the way up to the four-star generals.
Mr. Secretary, since you've been here for about 48 hours, what's your thought?
First off, I'd have to agree with General Saltzman. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to read their transition plan in detail, but at a high level, a lot of things are focusing on long-range fires, things like that under that threat environment. Those are the same things we're having to deal with. So there's a lot of connectivity. And in many cases, what both the Space Force delivers and the Air Force delivers from an ISR and other capability for targeting is critical for the Army, as it is for the entire Joint Force.
Yeah, if anybody's got to switch gears, it's got to be you guys, you know, for what we've seen and the things that China's doing. General, your thoughts?
Very well aligned, Senator. I think as the Army goes through their transformation initiative, as with all the services, we need to make sure we don't do it in a vacuum. Understanding that as the Army transforms, we're going to be dependent on them and them on us for base resiliency in the Indo-Pacific. As they look to sort of streamline some of their ways to do acquisition, consistent with some of the basic tenets of the Forged Act, those sort of things. We want to make sure that we're integrated there, and I think we have been undergoing a bit of that ourselves with the way we're developing our new force design, not only what we're building, but how we're building it. And I think having those common practices and the collaboration between the services, as Salty said, is going to be key going forward.
Thank you. Since you're on a roll, I'll stay with you, General. We'll go back to KC-46. I think we have availability around 90 now of KC-46. Is that correct?
I think we're 89 on the ramp, yes.
Yeah. What is their availability? I mean, since they're new, we've heard the problems that they're having up and down, and some are in and out of service. What's their availability?
See, I knew I was going to be asked this, so I can't remember them all. So I have it right here. The KC-46 availability right now is just at 51%. So, and the challenges with that, there are several challenges.
51?
Yeah, 51%. And that includes those that are in the depot maintenance. And so, again, that is not a number that we're proud of, but there are several issues that we have been working through with Boeing to help ensure that we deliver combat-capable jets right off the ramp or off the production line. So there are still some deficiency reports that we're sorting through with Boeing, having to do with the upgraded remote visualization system and drain lines and those sort of things. But right now, the 52% is where we're at.
Does that have the capability that we need for the Indo-Pacific in terms of what it can carry, the range?
It actually does, Senator. It's actually quite a capable platform, as it's available. One thing we are looking at into the future is not just the amount of gas that it carries, but as we go forward into the next decade or so, we need to ensure that we enhance their survivability, whether that be with onboard systems or with offboard support. Going into the future, it's not just the tyranny of distance, which is extant, but it will be also the tyranny of operating consistently in a more contested environment. And so as we move forward into the next generation aerial refueling system examination, we're looking what the next capabilities will be, whether it's a new platform or more defensive systems on the current character platform.
So we're looking for new capabilities, not just sitting around thinking the KC-46 is going to be the
We are. As we look in the most important thing is the continued recapitalization of the KC-135, which, as I mentioned, average KC-135 age is older than me. And so a 63-year-old average jet is not something that we want to continue to try and discover new parts that break. So in the immediate future, the capacity and the capability of the KC-46 is sufficient. And as we're looking for long-term, we want to make sure that in the next couple of decades, we can have more survivable tanking capability. Thank
you. I had the opportunity to fly around the world in a KC-135 with a bunch of other coaches at one time. Damn near froze to death.
Did you refuel another aircraft? Did you get to do that?
We did.
All right.
Yeah, we did. Antiquated is my explanation for that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, the environmental controls at the back of a 135 are not awesome. Yeah.
General Alvin, don't sell yourself short at age 63. Senator Gillibrand.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Mink, the Space Force, NRO, NGA are working to establish the policies and procedures that will guide the DoD's use of space-based tactical ISRT. Now that you are Secretary